Good evening, sports fans, and welcome to a very special edition of Championship Showdown. Tonight we'll be handing out MVP and Superlative Awards for the 2014 Fantasy Baseball season in the Keystone Showdown League. We will also be interviewing League Champion Alex Kruger, and seeing if all this glory has gone to his already massive, massive head. First things first, let's get to the MVP Awards. It's difficult to equate who wins the awards in the Fantasy Baseball League, but we used a two-prong approach to equate the outcome. First, we break down how many All-Stars each team has, and then we take the overall grade of the player productivity, assign a numerical value, and average out the score. These tests have a 98% reliability and validity, with everything coming up the same regardless of how we break it down. But when we strip down the statistical mumbo-jumbo, we are left with this fact. This is the truth. The Always a Bridesmaid, Never a Bride award for regular season champion goes to Josh Lego and Los Hermanos Upton, with an overall season record of 159, 93, and 21. Well, sadly, Josh was knocked out of the playoffs by a familiar foe in Matt Pupo during round 1. Just remember, Josh, doesn't matter what happens during the regular season if you don't win the last game of the year. This year's MVP award is sponsored by TGM Lawnscaping. TGM Lawnscaping will mow your lawn, but we will not pull your weeds. First place for offensive MVP shows Waltz M&M's taking home the gold behind their 4 All-Stars, followed closely by Linda and Gerb with 3 All-Stars apiece. The Cy Young Award brought to you by TGM Snow Removal. TGM Snow Removal. We fight your white. Wait, that can't be right. No, that is right. That is just a terrible, terrible slogan. Anyways, again we see the accolades making their way to the mantle for Waltz M&M's with a total of 7 All-Star pitchers on his roster. Followed again by a 2-way tie for second, but this time with Lego and Brandon at 6 apiece. They say when the playoffs begin, a whole new season starts up. And with a whole new season comes a whole new crop of MVP and Cy Young awards. The 2014 postseason MVP goes to Gerb's great team, with 4 All-Stars, which helped propel him to the final round of 4 in this year's playoffs. Now just a small disclaimer, we said final round of 4, so as far as not to infringe upon any trademarks owned by any academic-based competitive athletic corporations. And our postseason Cy Young Award is awarded again to Gerb's great team. And again he posts 4 All-Stars on his rosters. Now, we should only expect this kind of consistency from a guy whose entire wardrobe has consisted of t-shirts and jeans since the mid-1990s. Our Willow 2.0 Rookie of the Year award goes to the player, new to the league, who paid attention, made daily roster moves, and stayed in the top 3 teams all season long. Though he was bested in the semifinals to the eventual champion, no one can take away from an amazing season by Nate Rinda's team. And the 2014 Comeback Player of the Year award winner went from last place in the 2013 league to a playoff team. Beth's Filibuster brings home the trophy for Comeback Player of the Year, completing a roller coaster of a career, starting off as a champion in a rookie campaign, then falling a bit during her sophomore slump, and now competitive to the highest degree in her junior season. Before we go to our special guest interview, we're going to give out the General Manager Awards. The 2014 Billy Bean Award for most roster moves was a close call, but in the end it goes to Josh Lego and Los Upton Hermanos, with 71 total roster moves this season, narrowly beating out Waltz M&M's with 69 moves to his name. And this year, the Anti-Bean Award for least roster moves is no shocker, as it is awarded to Gerb's great team with 0, that's right, 0 roster moves this season. None. But this does make perfect sense when you consider the fact that Danny Gerbich is allergic to new things. Like we mentioned, he hasn't updated his wardrobe since Clinton was elected into office. And now the moment you've all been waiting for, we take you live via satellite to Stilton, Pennsylvania, where Alex Kruger, the league champion, is standing by. Alex, congratulations. How does it feel to be a champion? I just want to start off by saying thank you very much, dudes, for having me on here. It feels great to be a champion. I've waited this moment for a long time. This feels really good. Have you ever won a fantasy league like this before? No, this was my first championship win. I've played a lot of fantasy sports, but this was the first time one of my teams took home the gold. There was one year that a coworker had drafted a team, and then I took over and managed it, and we won, but it just didn't feel honest. It didn't feel right. So no, this is my first true win. How many years have you been playing fantasy baseball? Well, I played for one season out in Pittsburgh when I was there, and then I took a few years off to get things right with my life. But this is my third year back in the league, so 4 altogether. So, what kind of plans do you have for this off season? How do you plan to celebrate this championship? You know what? I'm going to enjoy the win for right now. It's been a long time coming. But there isn't too much rest. I'm the commissioner of a football league. I hope to become the commissioner of an NBA league, and then by the time that's finished up, we should be ready to draft for baseball again. So I might not be on the diamond anymore, but I'm still playing the games. Now, there have been reports of possible collusion between you and the manager of Filibuster. There have even been some reports from certain outlets that there is a physical relationship going on. Would you care to comment on that at all, Alex? Sure. Yes. I do have a relationship with the manager of Filibuster. That would be Beth Kruger. That'd be my wife. So, yeah. Now, with that being said, how can you assure the other managers and the fans that you did not give or receive any additional help during your championship campaign? Well, I really don't have any baseball-specific stories, but I have a few anecdotes from our time together playing fantasy football. A few years ago, while she was trying to pick up a player to replace an injured person, she had to figure out who she had to cut to make the roster work. And I told her, you know what? Cut CJ Spiller. They have Fred Jackson, and they're not going to be scoring a whole lot of points, so they're not going to get many opportunities to run. Just cut him. You don't need him. He's not going to help you out that much. But then about 18 hours later, I realized I needed a running back, and, well, I scooped up Spiller, who went on to have about 300 or 400 or 20-point games. So that was really nice. Oh, and then this year, while drafting, she wanted to know if she should pick up No-Shawn Moreno. So you know what? It's really early. It's only the 4th round. He's probably going to get picked up, in the 8th or 9th. Just hold off for now. Get some more important players, and you'll be fine to get him. And then 3 picks later, I took him. So yes, my wife and I are married and love each other very much, but we play to win the game. We play to win the game. Wow, what a dick move. A little bit surprised you guys are still married. Well, that doesn't surprise me, Deuce. You've never really pleased a woman for more than 2 to 3 minutes at a time. Now, we spoke with your mother last week, and we were hoping that you could elaborate on a subject that has gotten a lot of travel in the weeks leading up to the championship. Have you been juicing on Red Bull? Yeah, I saw your video last week, and I gotta be honest with you, Deuce, I thought that was a Bush League move. I thought that was inappropriate. There was really no need to bring that up with my mother. That was something you could have talked to me about, but your people never reached out to my people. So I'm a little upset that you brought that to her attention. Obviously, it's something that she feels very strongly about, and it really upset her. So honestly, I'd prefer an apology from you. Well, you have neither denied nor accepted these claims, so would you be willing to be more transparent? Are you serious right now? Okay, yes, I take Red Bull to set up my roster, but guess what? It's not exactly a illegal substance. It's not banned. There's nothing wrong with it. It's frowned upon, sure, but Red Bull gives you wings, not wins. I hate to quote Omar, but you come at the king, you best not miss. I'm not sure who this Omar character is, but I'm guessing it's not Omar Infante. Are you serious? Omar Little from The Wire. Cheese stand alone dog. Nothing. Greatest Robin Hood character of all time. Jesus, next thing I know, you're going to tell me you don't know who Mike Ross is, or the Dharma Initiative. Mike Ross? Dharma Initiative? Sorry, but you lost me here, Alex. If it's not sports or a competitive home or decorating show, I don't watch it. Are you serious right now? Why am I even doing this interview? Guys, why am I even here? Honestly, this whole thing is just some self-aggrandizing gesture from a megalomaniac narcissist who just wants to see himself on TV talking about fake fantasy sports. This isn't even real life, buddy. Get a real job, get a real life, stop being an asshole. I'm done. This is stupid. I'm out of here. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Alex Kruger, league champion, kind of a dick. And with that being said, let's hop into our superlative awards. Now, just like in high school, when everyone voted on who had the best hair, the best eye color, or the best laugh, we like to break down the subtle nuances that make the fantasy game what it is. The Ozzie Guillen Award for Most Talkative goes to Alex Kruger with 7 message board posts. And I'm sure I speak for everyone in the league when I say to Alex, maybe next time we agree that less truly is more. The Talk Jazz Get Razzed Award goes to Linda for her non-prophetic declaration posted on April 16th, 2014. Dad just taught me how this thing works. It's on, suckers. Well, sadly, she finished second to last. So in the end it was on, just not in the way she had hoped. And in a similar but fairly different award, the Should Have Shut Up award goes to Josh Lego, who on July 8th, 2014 said to Alex Kruger, there we go, as much as I would love an easy win this week, update your damn roster, asshole. Alex started paying attention and never stopped, riding that insult. The award for most wheelin' and dealin' goes to Walt, who traded 3 roster spots, helping to shore up his all-star lineup. The Ruben Amaro Jr. award for worst trade involves Koji Uehara to Alex's ATK squad for Jason Grilly to Matt Pupo's Feet Like Forest. Koji ended up with a record of 6-5 with 28 save plus holds. Grilly was traded and then demoted the following week. The award for worst husband this year goes to the league champion. Not only did Alex knock his wife out of the playoffs with a postseason tie, one of the most pathetic ways to win in sports history, but he did this as Beth was in the hospital giving birth to his first child. And the award for best dad is handed out to Tim Kruger, because clearly he stopped paying attention to his team, and the only explanation we could find was that he was focusing more on his expanding family, and as it found fantasy sports to be trivial and unimportant. Fairly un-American, if you ask me. And tonight we wrap up our broadcast by handing out a very special award. Lifetime Achievement for Original Hipster goes to Danny Gerbich. Max Bemis once wrote, in reference to the hipster movement, "You spend your time sitting in circles with your friends, pontificating to each other, forever competing for that one moment of self-aggrandizing glory, in which you hog the intellectual spotlight, holding dominion over the entire shallow, pointless conversation. Oh, we're not worthy. You adhere to a set of standards and tastes that appear to be determined by an unseen panel of fellow hipster judges, giving a thumbs up and thumbs down to incoming and outgoing trends and styles of music and art. Go analog, baby. You're so postmodern." Now, we don't think Danny Gerbich is that bad, so instead, we are rewriting a classic hipster joke. How many Danny Gerbiches does it take to screw in a light bulb? It's a really obscure number, you've probably never heard of it. That's it for tonight's broadcast, everybody. A special thanks to all our sponsors, our guest Alex Kruger, and everyone at home watching. Without you, there would be no show. And make sure to keep an eye out as we expand our schedule and add some fantasy football breakdowns throughout the year. And as always, we'll be seeing you just a bit outside.